get a good check, and make everyone happy. It would have been a compromise, but one a lot of people could have lived with. Not me. You cannot, under any circumstances, compromise when it's your vision on the line. You have to be prepared to go against popular opinion and turn down money, even if it jeopardizes your relationships, until you're confident you found the right opportunity. Would you marry a man just because he proposed? Or a woman because your friends think she's great? I hope not. You don't make a commitment like that just because someone else wants you to. I don't care if you're single, 37 years old, and every time you talk to your mom, the first thing out of her mouth is, "When you giving me a grandchild?" You wait until you're 100% sure he's Mr. Right before you even think about saying yes. Would you put an offer on a house because the agent you're working with is getting tired of showing you around and just wants his commission? Hell no. You get another agent and go from open house to open house until you finally find a home you can afford that you're excited to spend the rest of your life in. When you settle, you're demonstrating a lack of confidence. If your journey hasn't been easy, you might start to question the value of what you're doing. Maybe you better grab the next thing to get offered before you never get offered anything again. When you begin thinking like that, you've lost the hustler spirit. I was recently talking to a friend who was struggling to find that confidence. He started a business from the ground up and poured his heart and soul into it. After years of hard work, he found success and bigger companies started making offers. He looked at where his industry was heading and decided it was the right time to sell. He entered negotiations with one company and spent months and months going over terms of the deal. He spent tens of thousands of dollars on lawyers. Then, just before he was about to sign on the dotted line, the other company pulled out. The deal was dead. My friend was stunned. It seriously messed him up. He had already started thinking about that dream house he would buy with the proceeds, vacations he'd take his kids on. He'd seen all those zeros in his bank account, and now they were gone. He was depressed. He felt like he had spent so much time and money for nothing. The idea of starting new negotiations gave him anxiety. He told his lawyers to find the quickest deal they could. He wasn't worried about fit. He wasn't worried about long-term potential. He just wanted to get something done. He'd lost confidence in his value. It was time for a pep talk. He needed to reconnect with the hustler spirit that led him to start the business in the first place. Remember, if just one person was interested, that means your idea has value, I reassured him. Don't panic. Don't settle for something else unless it's right. There are companies out there who prey on people in your exact situation. Don't walk into their trap. Get back to work and wait for the right partner to emerge. I could address his uncertainties directly because I could relate to what he was feeling. When you pour everything you have into something and it doesn't work out, insecurity sets in. That's when you're vulnerable. The predators will sense that self-doubt and try to take advantage of it. I felt the same kind of vulnerability after I got dropped from Columbia. The self-doubt started to sabotage my energy. My fans probably didn't sense it, but it was there. Thankfully, my hustler spirit was stronger than any pessimism that might have infiltrated my spirit. I had the confidence and patience to wait until the right deal was in front of me. I believed in my value and eventually I was rewarded for it. In just a couple of years, I went from being dropped to releasing one of the best-selling hip-hop albums of all time. Now, the guys that I used to sit next to that I hustled with, they would say I was lucky the Interscope came after me. But as my grandmother would say, you are truly blessed. It might seem obvious, but people don't always see the value of a strong association. Sometimes, and this is especially true with artists, they get so caught up in their own hype that they don't think they need anyone to co-sign them. They believe their heat alone is more than enough to get the job done. It's great to have confidence, but never let your ego blind you to an association that can take you further than you can go on your own. I saw this happen firsthand with a Philadelphia rapper named Gilly the Kid. He was brought to my attention by the legendary Philly disc jockey, Cosmic Kev. At the time, I was riding sky high off my first couple of albums and constantly had people pitching me their artists. Kev was seasoned, so he knew the best way to get my attention was to approach me humbly. Yo, I never asked you for anything, he told me, which was true. But I need one favor. I need you to listen to Gilly's joint, because this is going to pop. I had a lot of respect for Kev, so I gave it a listen. He was right. It felt like a hit. I liked the song so much, I decided I would walk Gilly into Interscope. If you're not familiar with that term, it means that instead of making him pitch his music to an A&R person, I would personally take his music to the executives in charge. Having someone walk you in is what you want as an artist. It allows you to bypass all the lower-level people and talk directly to the top brass. It's especially valuable if the person walking you in just sold 25 million records for the label. Then you really got everyone's attention. I played Gilly's song for one of the top executives. At first, they weren't as sold as I was. Then I told him my plan. Listen, I don't think it makes sense to put Gilly on G-Unit.